Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ronan HD. So yeah, this is going to be a great time. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ronan HD, and today we watched the new Damien Chazelle movie, Babylon, starring Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie. Dude, I'm gonna just tell you, this movie is amazing, and it's just it's really good. It's 3 hours and 9 minutes, but it doesn't feel like 3 hours and 9 minutes. It's just really engaging, really enthralling throughout the entire film, and it's just, unlike Avatar 2, I feel like this movie had to be 3 hours. Like, you couldn't, this was too much story to put in like 90 minutes or 2 hours. It's just too much. Oh, it's just so good. Man, I really like Damien Chazelle now, and I want to watch all of his other movies now. But before I go on a whole rant on how I love this movie, I'm going to do that back at the house.
We are going to be more than they ever bargained for.
What I do means something.
It's bigger than you.
And I'm going to bed.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ronan HD, and this week we watched Babylon, written and directed by Damien Chazelle, also starring Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt. I'm going to try to make this review spoiler-free, so, because I really would like you to experience this movie for yourself. It's a really great movie, and I highly recommend it. Just gonna get that out of the way. But, man, was this movie really good? Like, some of the best aspects of this movie, I would say, obviously, I think writing is incredibly strong, the directing. Also, the soundtrack is great. I'd love to have this soundtrack on vinyl. Also, the cinematography was really great. I loved almost every shot in this movie. Really beautiful movie to look at. Really great performances by every actor. Really enjoyed the story too. Was really engaged and enthralled in that. And I don't know. This, as I said in the walkout, this just really makes me wanna watch like every other Damien Chazelle film. Like, it makes me want to watch all the other ones. And so in the movie, there's like more than one story going on. There's more than one main character, and they all like kind of intertwine pretty nicely. And I would say one of my favorite characters is definitely Brad Pitt. I mean, I just like Brad Pitt already. I really like him, and I think he did great in this movie. I really liked his character. I also think the Margot Robbie storyline was really good. I really liked that one. And, I don't know, I feel like Brad Pitt was my favorite character in the movie. I really liked him. And it's like, that's pretty obvious. It's Brad Pitt. What's not to like? You know, what's not to like? But, so basically, Brad Pitt's character is like an actor. And throughout the movie, it's his journey, throughout the years as an actor. Yeah, so basically he starts out as a really big silent movie star back in the 20s, and then eventually it goes into him struggling to adapt to sound pictures, and his story focuses on his struggles being a sound picture actor. And it's really engaging, but there's two other characters. Margot Robbie isn't really, but Manuel, who is very much intertwined into Margot Robbie's story, at first is also intertwined with Brad Pitt's story. And basically, he starts out as this, like, elephant delivery guy, and then he goes from that to being a behind-the-scenes worker to being a director for films, working for big film studios like MGM. And it's really good. It's a really interesting story, and without giving too much away, I think his story is probably the best. Even though I do love Brad Pitt's story, I feel like his is the most interesting. I think it's like the most in-depth one too, I feel like. But yeah, I think his is the best in my opinion. But then there's Margot Robbie's character, who starts out as an aspiring actor, star, whatever. She wants to be big. She wants to get big in Hollywood, and she eventually like brute forces her way into the scene, like bursts in and is a like, you know, a big star, like breaks into the scene, is amazing, and it shows her struggles with being famous and having to, you know, adapt to that lifestyle, and you know, having money and not knowing what to do with it, or just kind of making bad decisions. But yeah, some things never change, huh? And then there's like it's not like one of the main storylines, but there's like a little mini storyline in the movie that they focus on, of a trumpet player named Sydney, and it's his journey from being a player, from like a small trumpet player in his band, to being a big star, like a big musical star, and his journey through that. That's also quite engaging. I liked him too, with the little screen time that he had. I liked him. And there's also the writer. There's not really a storyline with her, but she is a pretty important side character. She's like the journalist. I don't remember her name. Yeah, she kind of intertwines with almost all their storylines, except for the trumpet player. Yeah, there's the journalist. She's not really a main character. She doesn't really have a storyline or a journey. She's as important, but she's just kind of there to be like a bit of a moral compass. I feel like she's a bit of a moral compass. And then there's the Chinese woman. I believe she was Chinese. She is in the movie. She starts out making you know, the lines for the movies. She's like writing them down. And then she eventually gets bigger, and she becomes a bigger star, and she has a whole storyline about her journey with her stuff, and it's like kind of like the trumpet player. She's not really a main character, but she is focused on. She also intertwines with the other stories, like Brad Pitt, and a little bit of Manuel's story. But yeah, man, just really, really great writing, man. Like, it all intertwines perfectly, in my opinion. I think it all like just fits together. Like, it fits together like a nice jigsaw puzzle. You know, it's just perfect. I feel like every single storyline is perfectly connected, because they're not like too intertwined, because I think near the end they're all independent to themselves. You know, most of the storylines are all independent, except for Manuel and Margot Robbie's storyline. They're both like basically the same storyline. They're very, very connected. And also, this is a little mini spoiler here, but it's not really much of a spoiler for the storyline, but there's a scene where Manuel, Margot Robbie, and Brad Pitt are at a party. It's near the end of the movie. And a part that I really like, that I think is a great way of showing that this is in the same timeline. Brad Pitt is walking out of the building, and he turns and he looks at Manuel. They both look at each other for a quick second, and then he keeps walking. I don't know, that's just I really like that addition, because it still shows that, yeah, these people know each other, but it's like, you know, it's kind of like when you're passing somebody you know on the sidewalk, and you don't really want to say anything, and you just kind of share a glance, and you just keep walking. I really like that detail. It felt really human to me, because it's like, there's a lot of shit going on at this point, and like, what are they going to do, stop by and have a conversation, you know? But they knew each other, and they just shared a glance. I really like that. Also, I feel like the characters feel like real people. You know, that's what I liked. They felt like real people. Like, you know, they had flaws, and they just talked like people. They didn't talk like robots. And I like that. I like that. Oh, man. It's just, I liked a lot of the characters. Also, Tobey Maguire is in this movie. If you didn't watch the trailer, Tobey Maguire is in this movie, and he is fucking creepy. Like, I'm not going to explain what his character is, but he is creepy, dude. Like, he's got these weird, like, yellow, rotten teeth, and he's, if you've seen one of the teasers, he's got, like, that weird-ass laugh, and near the end of the movie, it turns into, like, a horror movie, and you know how I am about horror. I really liked it, and it was really crazy with all the imagery. It was like, oh, man, I'm not gonna say, before I spoil the end, but yeah, it was great. So, yeah, I think the story in this film was great. Recommend the story to anybody. But the visuals, there's a lot of, like, taboo, risque, disturbing imagery, especially near the end, and all throughout the movie, let's be real. So, yeah, there's a lot of, like, nudity and sexual references, drugs, a little bit of blood, not a little bit of blood, but some like blood at the end. But yeah, there's also like dark themes and things like that. So if you're not really into that, maybe don't go see this movie. But if you're okay with that, highly recommend it. I rate this film a 9 out of 10. I don't make those ratings very clear, but I fucking love this movie all the way through. Amazing film. Highly recommend it if you're okay with the imagery. 9 out of 10. Loved it. But, you know, I think I've said I need to say. I think I've said my piece. So, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you turn on notifications. Hope you share with your friends. Subscribe. Turn those notifications on. Comment down below on how much you liked it. But, you know, I didn't mean any of that. What I really meant to say was I hope you guys hated this video. Unsubscribe, dislike, and tell me you hate me in the comments. This has been Ronin Time HD. Ciao. But I thought it was great.
Well, you're a 15-year-old boy, of course you did.
Yeah, I did.